No one doubts that protecting our environment is the need of the hour. But somehow, when it comes to development, the environment takes a back seat. A few weeks ago, around 2,500 trees were axed in Guwahati to make way for a 6th lane. But why? The National Highways Authority of India is upgrading the existing 4-lane highway between Basistha and Jalukbari in Guwahati to a 6-lane highway. This will also involve the construction of 4 flyovers at Gorchuk, Boragaon, Lokhra and Basistha Chariali. The project is expected to cost about 356.02 crore rupees. As per officials, the project will streamline the city's traffic and strengthen road connectivity in the northeastern region. But does development always come at a cost of destroying the environment? Are trees non-existent in urban planning? We spoke to experts and activists to understand why and how these projects get a go-ahead despite the destruction they cause. Mubina Akhtar, an environmental journalist, author and activist based in Guwahati, terms the felling of trees atrocious given the alarming air quality in the city, which has hovered between poor and moderate in the past 1 month.
In one word, I must say this is very atrocious. What is happening in the name of development? We have seen the first casualty has been always nature, and in this time when Guwahati is going through acute air pollution, we are very poor in the air quality index, and at this time the decision to cut thousands of trees in the name of development is simply atrocious to me. Development should always be in tandem with nature, but here we see in case of Assam, nature becomes the first casualty. Wherever we say it is, whether it is a hydel project, it is a linear project, anything, we have seen always nature becomes the first casualty. We cut a whole hill, a whole forest in the name of development. This shouldn't be done, because we have seen the impacts. We have seen how climate change, our temperature has been rising. We are losing our biodiversity. The mega herbivores like the elephants, they have become homeless because we have cut almost all the forest, the reserve forest. We have encroached upon all those forests. It is not only the people, but it is the development projects. Because of those projects, I think the forests have been wiped out.
According to researchers, a human being requires 740 kg of oxygen every year to breathe healthily. EastMojo spoke to Molloy Borua, an environmentalist who has put more than 25 years of his life into conserving forests across Northeast. Borua expressed extreme concern over the rise in the level of carbon dioxide in the air as a result of felling of trees.
When we take breath 23,000 breath we take per day, but it requires 12 kgs of oxygen. So where from these 12 kgs of oxygen will come? Because while growing a tree, a human being requires 12 kgs, and that can be given only by 7 trees. So 7 trees is minimum requirement for a human being to sustain his good healthy life in this planet. And moreover, we see that the level of carbon dioxide is rising because of the less number of trees, and the carbon dioxide can be also, a tree can contain to the tune of 20 kg in a year, particular year it can contain. So when the tree is cut down, it will definitely release all the carbon dioxide. 7 trees are required for a human being who takes 23,000 breaths in a single day. So impact will be severe, and it is a condemnable job government has taken. They should have, at the beginning, they should have built up alternative areas nearby where they can plant such number of trees.
Shibani Goyal, a climate activist and a member of the Guwahati chapter of Fridays for Future, a youth-led movement against the climate crisis, cited research from the National Library of Medicine, which showed that the felling of trees will not only affect the environment but also take a toll on a person's physical and mental well-being.
So, the cutting of trees will affect the mental health of the population. There is a research by a renowned doctor that when people were taken away from trees, from the natural environment, there was a rise in anxiety and depression. And some people who had depression and anxiety, when they were suggested to go and sit in the nature to live a different life, they saw a very good improvement in their health. And also when air pollution will not only affect asthmatic patients, okay, but they will also affect people who the old people, the newborn babies, and it will also create a lot of stress in the society. Along with that, the recent climate change report that has come, we are trying to stop the global climate temperature at 1.5 degrees Celsius. I know due procedure has been followed, due permissions have been taken for this, but at this pace we have to make choices. Do we want convenience, or do we want a survival? We are on the verge of sixth mass extinction, and I am not blabbering. There are reports. People like Leonardo DiCaprio are creating awareness. There are meetings on several levels. Even our PM, our CM, everyone knows that. But we have to take actions accordingly.
Mubina believes that there were better alternatives. She shared what could have helped the city authorities save the trees while continuing with the project.
Of course there are alternatives, because if you see in case of Delhi what they are doing, the whole metro system in Delhi, when they just build a system, they took the alternatives. At some stretches they took it to the underground, and at some stretches they just saved the trees to take the metro. And similarly in now the construction of the Central Vista is going on, and I think the nature casualty is minimum in those development projects. Why can't we take the cue from Delhi? There are other alternatives, many alternatives.
But all is not lost, Borwa said. He suggested planting 12,000 trees in the Garbhanga Reserve Forest to help compensate for the damage caused by the felling of 2,500 trees.
Certainly, Garbhanga Reserve Forest is going to be declared as a wildlife sanctuary very soon. The preliminary notification is out. So, I suggest the government that Garbhanga area is not far from the Jalukbari highway. So, alternatively, more trees should be grown and more trees should be planted in that area to the tune of these 12,000 trees that government is planning to cut down.
The felling of thousands of trees is neither an isolated event nor an act of vandalism. It was sanctioned by the government and carried out by the authorities. And one can be sure that it will not be the last. With Guwahati air quality worsening every year, the city needs to protect, not destroy, its tree cover. But it seems that once again, the environment's destruction is a precursor to any and every project commissioned in the name of development.
Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to EastMojo. For any queries, put them down in the comments section below and press on the bell icon for notifications.